Hi guys, welcome to this evening's update video. I trust and hope you're doing fantastic. It is Friday, the end of another work week, well, at least for most of us, and we're going to be talking about what is taking place across the North Atlantic basin. So we still have Gabrielle out there as a post-tropical cyclone headed towards Europe, but we have a pretty substantial threat to some places, newly designated potential tropical cyclone 9. Now, this was previously known as Invest 94L. That's the disturbance in the vicinity of Hispaniola. It's been interacting with land and influencing a lot of rainfall. That's going to be continuing, but not only that, conditions will be a little bit exacerbated in some places as the system is expected to develop. So, tropical storm watches and warnings are now in place for sections of the Bahamas. So we will be looking at that today, and we'll also talk about a rapidly intensifying hurricane. So Hurricane Humberto is now a Cat 3, and I think it really has a shot at making it to Cat 5. I don't know if you guys saw an update video I did a few days ago, and I mentioned that we could see Humberto become much stronger than initially expected because of those very warm waters, and we saw what happened with Erin. So I use it as an example, and right now it is rapidly strengthening, and the peak intensity currently expected by NHC is shy of a Category 5 hurricane, but I think it will really have the potential to reach that status. So let's go ahead and talk about these systems. Okay, here we go. So we're going to be focusing on potential tropical cyclone 9, or if I say PTC 9, it's the same disturbance, same system that I'm referring to primarily in this video. We'll talk about that. But first, I want to go into the details and get Humberto out the way. So look at this. We are taking a look at a rapidly intensifying system. Just look at how much more defined that eye is becoming. Look at that eye wall. I mean, when we're starting to see these gray and these purple shadings popping up, those are very, very tall clouds and a key sign of intensification. So I really think that the system is much stronger than the intensity just around 2 hours or so ago. So as of that latest update there, the system had a maximum sustained winds of 115 miles per hour and accelerating to the west-northwest at just 5 miles per hour, so pretty slow mover. And it is expected to remain a major hurricane through early next week and make a curve. And as of now, there's no certainty with regards to the long-term track. We'll likely miss the U.S., but it could make a close approach to Bermuda. So Bermuda have been having a lot of close systems, a lot of close calls this year with those storms. So the peak intensity in terms of those winds expected by NHC are 150 miles per hour. And once those winds exceed 156 miles per hour, the system is officially a Category 5 hurricane. And I really think that it will have the potential to reach that status. We'll see how it goes, or if it will max out as a Cat 4. But I'm definitely expecting more intensification over the coming few days through the weekend. So the good thing about the system is that it's going to be offshore. There will be no direct land impacts over the coming couple of days. But being such a strong hurricane, it will definitely be generating those unstable marine conditions in terms of those seas being quite rough offshore the northeastern Caribbean, Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, and also Bermuda. And these systems can even generate those rough seas offshore the eastern U.S. as well. So that's going to be a potential, especially if it increases in size. Now we talk about PTC 9, potential tropical cyclone number 9. Look at it here. You can see all of this disorganized shower and thunderstorm activity. And airflow pressure definitely forming, but it is not solidifying quickly. Why? It's interacting a lot with land, especially Hispaniola. But as the system drifts up to the north and encounters more of those waters, it will likely have a shot at developing undisturbed. So right now, though it is a major rain threat for parts of the northern Caribbean, we saw quite a bit of showers and thunderstorms in sections of Jamaica, especially our central and southern parishes earlier today. That's been moving out. And then that major rain threat is going to be moving into the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos Islands. So as we take a look at the latest here from the National Hurricane Center, we can see that the system is producing maximum sustained winds up to 35 miles per hour. So if it's producing winds within this range, why is it not yet a depression? Well, we need certain criteria to be met. It hasn't quite met the threshold to be considered a tropical cyclone. However, because it's so disorganized and based on the kind of activity it is producing right now, those impacts will be tropical storm impacts within the vicinity of the Bahamas. So it doesn't quite meet the criteria. It doesn't have that defined center of circulation. It's not very organized. However, we'll still be producing such conditions. We can see these different highlights here. We see the blue, we see the yellow. So the blue is representative of a tropical storm warning in effect for the central Bahamas. So it should become a tropical depression by tomorrow and subsequently a named storm maybe early on Sunday or Saturday or tomorrow night. And then the northern Bahamas, excluding Andros Island, are under a tropical storm watch. So for the warning area, those tropical storm conditions are imminent as we're going to be heading throughout the rest of tonight going into tomorrow. Those conditions will likely bear down, and with all that heavy rainfall, there's likely to be widespread flooding in some areas. There could even be those power outages with those strong wind gusts kicking up as well. And if you're to be affected, if you're under that tropical storm warning or even the watch, please stay safe. In the watch area, I'm expecting that to eventually upgrade to a warning as the system nears the area. So early next week, as we head into Sunday, those tropical storm impacts will be going on for the northern Bahamas, and the system is going to be strengthened through this time. Now, right now, it's interacting with Hispaniola, which has a lot of mountainous terrain. When we're talking about these small islands of the Bahamas, that's not going to really pack a punch on the system because those mountainous areas will help to disrupt the circulation with Hispaniola. But with the Bahamas, those islands are not going to be having any impacts on the system. I mean, look at Dorian back in 2019, for example. Dorian was just around Abaco and Grand Bahama when it became such a monstrous Cat 5. So the islands are not going to impact these systems' strengthening trend. So it is expected to strengthen, may eventually become a hurricane by Monday as it nears the southeastern U.S. coast. But we're going to have some erratic movement around that time. The long-term track is uncertain. Look at this wide circle here. So the center can pass anywhere within this circle. So that is not certain just yet. But with these frontal systems moving out, they'll be helping to influence the system, and they'll also help to kick up those upper level winds, which will help to induce weakening. So these frontal systems, they may help to increase the upper level winds and also bring more those drier, stable atmospheric conditions, and those help to induce weakening. So some weakening is going to be expected of the system when it is near the southeastern U.S. coast. Nothing is solid, as I mentioned, but I'll certainly be keeping you posted. I'm definitely expecting some additional watches to be issued soon as the system is going to be making its way up to the north generally. So that's what we have going on right now for it, guys. Still a rainmaker in the northern Caribbean, and it is getting to that stage for the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos. So please continue to stay safe. And in terms of the rainfall potential map here, we can see what is expected. So for the southeasternmost section of Cuba and much of the Bahamas, rainfall totals may go anywhere from 4 to 6 inches or even up to 16 inches for the easternmost section of Cuba. So with all of that heavy rainfall, that is likely to result in inundation across many places. Then for the Turks and Caicos Islands, anywhere from 2 to 6 inches of rainfall. We could see other areas in that general area, such as Jamaica, for example, getting up to anywhere from 1 to 4 inches of rain. Could still see a couple spots in Hispaniola get some additional rain as well from the system. So we'll see what eventually happens, guys. But these dangerous conditions are definitely likely. And that's what we have going on. So that's what I wanted to share with you in this evening's update video. And I do hope you found it to be quite informative. But if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I will respond to you when I get the chance to do so. And remember to always be weatherwise.